make my hair somewhat acceptable. I keep planning to get a haircut, and then I'm like, I don't feel like it. Hey guys, just wanted to go live real quick. I haven't even shared this in the Discord, so nobody even knows about this. It's okay. Just a second. So I just want to talk to you guys, as the thumbnail said, about Prisma One NFTs. I was talking to Yanni and Moon God about them this morning, and there is reason to be excited, I think. So going live for a few. On live. All right. So I was talking to Yanni this morning because I wanted to know. What exactly, like. I don't know if you haven't checked the white paper for the Prisma One NFTs. Let me tell you what is in it. It tells you, aside from, let me pull it up. Sorry, I don't mean to be speaking in partial sentences. Let me pull it up real quick. I'll go over this with you real quick. We're also going to have an AMA later this week with Greek at some point. At least that was the plan. It'll depend on Greek's schedule. And then we have an AMA on Friday with 100X Club. That is set in stone. So 100X Club on Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, excuse me. With the 100X Club, they're being gracious enough to do another AMA with me and with Moon God, and this time it'll be about the Prisma One NFTs. So looking at the white paper for the Prisma One NFTs, it says, how are the Prisma One NFTs changing the purpose of NFTs? It's going to be passive income. It's going to be once yearly airdrops in USDC, so a stable coin. And it is going to utilize the power of compounding interest. And there's some things I learned about this, because if you look down at the, what's up, Todd? If you look down at the example payouts and you see it says 10% per month, and then it shows you like what you can expect in year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and beyond. What's up, MAGA Warzone? What that means is the bot on average is making 10% profit per year, reinvesting that, so that 10% profit each month is, did I say per year? It's making 10% profit per month. And it is reinvesting that, so that profit is just compounding over and over again, utilizing the magic of compounding interest. Thank you, Timmy. Yes, they are going to rock. And so when you see the 10% per month, that's what it means. It means the bot is making 10% profit per month and reinvesting that. And that is how we get to those numbers, where if it's only making 10% per month, which Moon God was saying is a low estimate, he thinks it's going to do better. And so far it has been. In year 2, you can expect $379. In year 3, $778. In year 4, $1,436. Now that's if it's making 10% per month. And this is before we burn 112 NFTs. So these are actually the old numbers. Let me see if I can pull up the new numbers. I'm going to ask Moon God to update this. I also need to ask Lucky to burn those NFTs. All right. Hold on. This is the, okay, hold on a sec. Sorry about that, guys. I am looking up the new numbers. All right, here they are. So the new numbers, if it's making, the new numbers are even more amazing. Yeah, they are. So the new numbers are going to be, it's going to bring us to stage 3 quicker, like 1 to 2 years quicker, based on how much the NFT is making, based on how much the bot is making in profit each month. And also the payouts are going to be bigger. And once it gets to stage 3, then what happens then is the bot, instead of paying out 50% of the profits to NFT holders, reinvesting 40%, and then that other 10% gets split between one token and Prisma, which is going to be really good for the project. Instead of doing that, stage 3, it pays out 90% of the profits to NFT holders. And so the thing that I was curious about, and that I was talking to Moon God and Yanni about, both of whom are infinitely more intelligent than I am, that's why I was picking their brains this morning, was like, how does the NFT make this much money? What exactly is involved in that? Like, like, I literally just don't know how this works, because we're talking 500 NFTs. By year 6, each of those NFTs could potentially be making $2 million. 3 million, actually, with the new numbers. 500 NFTs potentially making $3 million a piece. If you do the math, that's 500 million times 3. What's the times 3.5? 500 million times 3.5. How much is that? I think you might be off just a little bit. 500 times 3.5 equals, so it'll be 1.75 billion. 1.75 billion. It's all good. So this bot could potentially in year 6 have raised 1.7 billion. And I was thinking to myself, and that's best case scenario. That's if it's literally making 20% profit per month, month after month after month, for like 6 years straight. That's probably not going to be the case, but I was just wondering, how does it even get close to that? Like, let's say we're going with 15%, so that's 133,000. Let's look at the new numbers. The new numbers at 15% would be 217,000 per NFT at year 6. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Todd. So yeah, and let's just, and even if we went with the 10%, that's cool too. Year 6, we're talking 14,000 per NFT. What's 500 times 14,000? And this is not, I don't even need to, just one sec. 500 times, it's like 7 million, I think. 500 times 14,000. Yeah, 7 million. So we're talking like $7 million that this thing will have raised. And what my question to Yanni and Moon God was, does that mean the bot is going to have $7 million that it's just reinvesting over and over again? And that's not how it works. Now, see, because I was wondering to myself, isn't that kind of risky? Which is what anybody would think. Now, maybe you guys know this already, and this is not news to you. What this bot is going to be doing is it's going to be using leverage. And the only leverage I know about is from real estate, because I have a real estate background, and leverage in real estate means getting a loan. You get a loan to buy something, and then when you sell that thing, you pay the loan back, but you keep the profit for yourself. Or a loan you can hold for a long time. Like if you're buying an apartment building, you have to use leverage to get that apartment building, because who the hell has, $12 million on them or $20 million on them? You get a bank to loan you the money for that, and you pay that back over time. And then like after 20 years or so, you own an apartment building. So that's leverage to me in my world. Leverage in crypto and in like the financial world in general, like stocks and whatnot, is you are offering like 1%, and then you are with the Prisma bot specifically, they're using 100x leverage. So that means any money that they have, they're only risking 1% of it. Now, with that 1%, it gets multiplied by 100 times because they're doing 100x leverage. So let's say that the bot has $10 million, which will happen, I think, like in, I don't know, year 3 or something. It'll probably have $10 million to be trading. It's only going to risk 1% of that, which will be 100,000, I think. So it will be risking $100,000. And that will get 100x. So it'll be as if it is trading $10 million. And the way that they were explaining this to me, and I apologize, I'm probably not the perfect person to explain this, but I'm trying to explain what they said to me, is with that $100,000, since it has 100x leverage, it is as if they are trading with $10 million, and they are making the profit from a $10 million investment with the risk, with only the risk of a $100,000 investment. But even then, the only way that they could lose that $100,000 is if, like literally, like a black swan event would occur. Like they're taking such little risk with this stuff that, just to give you an example, I think the one time that Moon God told me that they were a little nervous was when they the what's it called? They had made a they had leveraged, and the only way that they were going to hit liquidation price, or the liquidation rate, which means they would lose their money, the only way that that would happen is if Ethereum shot up to $109,000. Like that's the only way that they could have lost their money, and like lost their initial investment. So I think that's the one time that Moon God was like nervous. So it's like, this is like, I'm not explaining it very well, and I look forward to like the next AMA with Moon God, and I'll ask him to explain all this more clearly. But suffice it to say, the feeling that I got is there's so little risk that they are taking with these NFTs that, like, you can be rest assured that, you know, as long as the bot is making the percentage profits that are shown, like there's very little risk. These things are just, these are really good long-term investments. Yanni likes to call them a hedge fund, and he was explaining to me what a hedge fund is this morning. I mean, I've heard the word, obviously, I just didn't exactly know what it was. And pretty much these are, like, usually to get into a hedge fund, you need to either make $200,000 a year, or have $1 million to invest, or be part of like a corporation where you get to join as part of that corporation or something. With this, you are literally getting entered into a hedge fund, like at the ground floor for one BNB. So it's like, just the potential for this is insane. And like I've said before, even before I understood all this stuff that they explained to me this morning, the way I see it with the numbers I'm looking at, each of these NFTs is like a retirement plan. Because I can tell you, like, I'm going to be working for more than 6 years, and these things are going to go on beyond 6 years. But I'm just looking at the like year 6 estimates here. Even on the low end, I mean, we're looking at like 130,000, or the new numbers. Let me look at the new numbers. Like on the low end, we're looking at like a couple $100,000 by year 6, and then into perpetuity, it'll continue giving that amount. I could never save up that much money myself. I'm pretty good at saving. I'm pretty good at budgeting, but I still couldn't put aside $200,000 in 6 years. So, and that's just from one NFT, and it could be potentially more with the bull market coming, and just the way that Moon God and Calais from Prisma are doing it. They're literally taking, the way that he was explaining it to me, I was like, there is like near zero risk with this, because even if a catastrophe happens, a black swan event, the most they'll lose is 1%, because that's all they ever risk at a time. And oftentimes it's only 0.5%, because they're using that 100x leverage. So, and that would be like something absolutely insane. Like I said, the one time they were worried, they would have literally only lost their money if Ethereum went up to $109,000, which that could, and it's because they were trading on a DEX, and they said that's why they stick with CEXs, because on a CEX you don't run the risk of the LP being pulled. On a DEX you do. So like someone could pull the LP on a certain DEX and shoot the price up. That won't happen on a CEX, so that's why they trade on a CEX. So as you can see, they've taken every single precaution imaginable to make these just good, solid, safe investments. It's like, it's not an overnight $1 million, but it is safe passive income for literally the foreseeable future. Like they'll keep this going as long as crypto goes. So these things are going to become like priceless in time. Absolutely priceless. So anyways, that was some of the stuff that I learned. I apologize. I sound breathless. Um, it was some of the stuff I learned this morning that I thought was really cool. Make sure you plug 1, 2, 3, 2. Yeah, sure, man. So that's so yeah, we'll be doing some more AMAs about these Prisma One NFTs. We're gonna burn 112 of them, so that means there's only gonna be 500 total. And since we've sold just over 200, well, we sold just over 100, and 100 were shared between the two teams, One Token and Prisma. So that again is going to be an enormous amount of passive rewards coming to the One Token project, and all of that is going to go into the project. None of it is coming to me or Lucky or Yanni. It's all going to be pumped into the project. So there's my segue, my transition into talking about One. When these NFTs start paying out, all of that is going to be going into pumping One Token. So because we were seeing, some of our pretty much all of our whales except for Yanni, Bobtail, Surfer Mark, and there might be one or two others. Blacksmith, he might be one of our whales. I'm not sure how much he has, but like we've lost a lot of whales. And Yanni was just remarking kind of jokingly the other day. He's like, man, even if just, he was talking to me and Lucky in our team chat. He said, even if just you and me and Lucky are the only investors, we're still going to make a ton of money because we're going to pump the shit out of this token with those NFTs. So, I mean, which is true. Like, because if you think about it, those NFTs that we have set aside, we have like 30, I think we have 30 NFTs that are set aside just for the team, just for the, not the team, just for the project, 30 NFTs plus we get 5% of the profits every time those profits are sent out. Because what it is it's broken down that a certain percent goes to NFT holders, and then a certain percent gets reinvested, and then 10% gets split between Prisma and One. One token gets 5% each time. That could be an enormous amount of money each time. Like I said, all that money is going to get pumped into One token. So I know everybody wants that chart to like go skyward today. I understand that. I totally get it. But it's like, if you just give us some time, we are going to be pumping the shit out of One token. Like it's going to be absolutely freaking crazy. So just stick with us, stick with One token, and get yourself a Prisma One NFT if you can afford it. You're going to be happy. You're going to be happy. Just give us a little bit of time. We're not making stupid plays. We're not making stupid promises. This is stuff that's going to take, a couple years, 2, 3, 4 years to mature, but then this is the way. This was one thing that Yanni was explaining to me. Thanks, brother. And we have, this community is awesome. You guys are amazing. You guys have been so supportive, and I mean, just like honestly, just awesome. What's up, Custom Games Modes? So the way that Yanni explained this to me this morning, which I thought was really cool, he said, he even drew me a picture. If I could share it with you. He said, right now, most people are driving a car, and he's like, some of them are even driving a really fast car, and they're going at a certain rate of speed, and it seems like we're not moving. But he was like, the reason we're not moving is because we're building a space shuttle. And he's like, yeah, those people in the car, they're leaving us in the dust right now because they're actually moving and we're not, because we're sitting here building this space shuttle. But he said, once we have this space shuttle built, they can't keep up with us. And he showed me like he looked up how fast a space shuttle goes. It goes like 14,000 miles an hour or something like that. And then he showed me the top speed of like the fastest cars in the world are like, 200, 300 miles an hour. He's like, no one's going to be able to keep up with us. So that's what we're doing. We're building a space shuttle. It takes a little bit of time, but once that thing gets going, nobody's going to be able to keep up with us. So we are not just the pump and dump. We're the long-term play. And, hopefully we do see some awesome pumps in the short term, but I can tell you in the long term, there are good things coming for One token, and Two token as well. Two token, we'll see a lot of volume once One token starts getting pumped like crazy, so that those One token NFTs start paying out to the holders. As there were people asking about the DApp for the One token NFTs. the rewards DApp from Two Tokens Taxes. Lucky should be depositing that on Friday, the rewards into that DApp. It's just the volume has been kind of low. So if you had deposited it like last Friday, I think it would have been like a quarter of a token per NFT, and that wouldn't have even been worth the gas to get to claim that. So he just waited a little longer so that the rewards are a little more. But we have not forgotten about that. So that'll be happening this Friday. And you haven't lost any rewards. It's just they've just been sitting there. We just haven't put them in there yet. Let me see. See if it, Yomp dumped like crazy. That was the most predictable thing in the world. So our price of one token is like just over 10 cents. You can literally get 1,000. Yeah. You can literally get like 1,001 tokens for $100 right now, which is pretty good. 3 token is actually quite a deal right now too. Damn, it's down to 11.5 cents. So, yeah. So I'm gonna wrap this up. It's about the end of my lunch break. Thank you guys for being here. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to be putting out regular content again. We do have an AMA coming up with 100X Club on Friday at noon Eastern. Moon God will be there, and he'll be able to explain better than I did about these NFTs. But I just wanted to share with you guys something that was exciting. That was like exciting to me when I learned this stuff, which obviously I didn't learn it completely because otherwise I would have been able to express it a little better. But and then we have an AMA coming up with Greek at some point, and also I got to remind Greek that he said he'd make a video for us too about these Prisma One NFTs. So we're just working in the background like always. I know there's new shiny toys coming out, new shiny tokens coming out, but we're still here working, diligently and just we got the long view in mind, and we appreciate you all who are supporting us and that are here every day talking to us. So thank you guys for being here. And appreciate y'all, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks, Todd. See ya.